スチールライジングの11枠目やっていきます。で、前回の終わりの時は、あれですね、サイドクエストをメインでやっていましたと。で、何をやるかっていうと、どっちだか忘れたんですけど、どっちだっけ。まあ、確か聖マリア教会やったかなって思うんで、こっち行きましょう。ここまっすぐはいけない。あれ、本当にこっちかな。違う気がしてきた。こあー、長距離移動した後だったかな。あ、こう繋がったんだよね。あ、裏側か。
Able to escape the automats, they ran towards the entrance to the catacombs.
新エリア開放ですね。 起きやがった。うわお、ここはよく覚えてるぜ。あ、来た瞬間戦闘かな。そうだね。よし。
So Madame Necker escaped. I must inform her husband immediately.
さあ、何をアップグレードしようか。うん、活力、スタミナがね、足りないってことは最近あんまないからね。あればあるだけ使っちゃうからね、スタミナは。武器ってのもありだけど、まあ能力上げられるから能力上げたいけど、どうしようかな。やっぱ雑魚キャラを一発で倒せるってのはでかいから、合撃にしようか。 あ、どうせ報告があれか、まとまるから、他のじゃない、報告じゃなくて、サイドクエストも先やっちゃうから、このエリアの。これボス部屋だっけか。ああ、倒した後あるもんね。この死体ってずっと残ってるんだっけ。こいつだけなんか残ってるね。向こう側に向かう方法が、おっと、使ってなかったな。ああ、ここなんかあれか、セーブポイント見えたけど、見える前にボス部屋入っちゃったパターンか。あ、これだ、これ。昨日の最後終わったのこれだ。これやろうとして終わったんだわ。さあ、ここからは未到達区域。ちょっと一旦席を外します。 さあ続きをやっていきますか。意味深ですねこれ。人の意識をこっちの機械に移そうとしてるんじゃないかっていうようなのが見て取れる。びっくりした。
He slipped. Fortunately, unable to take his things with him. Slaves. They meant the automats. Feeding off the blood of innocent people. Monsieur Raymond was completely mistaken. I must inform him.
うん、やっぱそうでしたね。入力の奴隷はオートマタのことですね。あ、これ繋がったんじゃない？おーお
Someone's coming. Oh no, no! Another one of those evil machines.
ーお、これ確か話しかけられないですね。あ、この辺の敵は弱いから、弱いからって言ってやられそうになったな。まあでも繋がったね。で、ここ話しかけられないのか。
Someone's coming. Oh no, no! Another one of those evil machines.
話しかけられないっぽいな。で、あれだな、今のサブクエストは多分報告だけで終わるんで、交換所って言ってるのが何だったかちょっとわかんないけど、いきますか。こっちはいけんのかな。これ帰りだけか。あ、いける。どこまで、あ、こっちか。ふん、ビビるわ。もっと別のルートがあったはずなんだよね。気のせいかな。なかったっけ？なかったか。抜けらんないね。よし。あ、人がいる。
Dieu Tout-Puissant,
Madame de Polignac.
it's dreadful, Aegis. All is lost.
How were you able to leave some clue?
Earlier,
After you ventured out into the palace grounds, all of the machines that were guarding us set out after you. I seized the opportunity to go to the stables and jump into a horseless carriage.
What are you doing here, Madame?
The children, Aegis. Charlotte and the Dauphin. The Queen and the Marquis de Lafayette did everything they could do to save them from the King's madness. They spent days working out every detail of this operation with the greatest secrecy. The preparations for departure with our accomplices in the Queen's house. The children's escape, hidden inside this wagon. Our meeting here, in this very place. Then our departure with the riders who were to ensure our safe passage all the way to Austria. They would have been safe there with their uncle, the Emperor. But you can see for yourself. The children are nowhere to be seen. Poor Monsieur Cléry. He was the Dauphin's valet. The poor soul gave his life to protect the little ones.
Madame.
おお、アマニエッセンスの数が6666ですね。すごいゾロ目。うわ、なんかいっぱいある。
For 3 men. This doesn't make sense. The rooster embroidered on it. A list of staging posts between Paris and Liège. 100 leagues. That is a long way. Why go on such a journey? Perhaps Madame de Polignac can enlighten me. Madame, the attackers all bear the same red cap with an embroidered rooster.
It's the symbol worn by those who support the Duc d'Orléans.
One of them had a map indicating all the staging posts from here to the Principality of Liège.
Liège? That rabble-ridden city is where the Duke and his miscreants have established their base.
Over here, there are 4 dead horses. And the body of a 3rd man wearing a red cap.
4 horses for 3 men. That means one assailant managed to get away. It's beyond doubt. The Duke's men have taken the children. They're the ones behind this ambush. And they knew every detail of our plans. We were betrayed.
But surely the ambush did not go exactly as planned. 3 of them lost their lives.
That's true. If only we could catch the one who was able to escape. But now that I think about it, the riders that the Marquis de Lafayette promised us, if they made it here, they may have been able to surprise the kidnappers and stop them from carrying out their misdeed. By the grace of God, they may already be on their way to Vienna with the children.
The riders did not make it, Madame. They perished at the hands of the Royal Army.
Sainte Mère de Dieu, c'est une catastrophe. The Marquis de Lafayette must be informed of this terrible turn of events. Without delay.
I shall see to it, Madame. As for you, please return to the Queen at once. You have taken enough risks as it is.
Find the children, Aegis. Je vous en supplie.
はい。済みましたね。で、このエリアのサービードクエストは全部終わったっぽいんで戻りましょうか。こっちから戻れるんだっけ。戻れそうだ。
Someone's coming! Oh no, no! Another one of those evil machines!
あ、話せるようになってる。
I mean you no harm.
Ah! It speaks too! Get out of here, you damn pile of scrap metal!
Have you not seen what I've done to these automats?
Yes, worse than dogs at each other's throats. It's almost as if everyone has decided to kill each other before the sun comes up.
Have you seen any other fights?
It feigns innocence too. I saw you going after that gentleman in the red suit. Strange chap he is. The sort that talks to automats and makes them obey. Have you ever seen such a thing?
Did you see him leave?
Did I ever? He took off in a carriage. To the hospital, he cried.
The hospital? Which hospital?
How should I know? I've said too much already. Bugger off now. You're gonna get us into trouble.
この会話は終わりですね。で、こっちかな。あ、やべ、読むの忘れた。マラーに尋ねる。まあ、伝える気は全部ここなんで、トゥイルリーに行ってこのサイドクエストを突破しますか。かなねいさん、こんにちは。いや、なんか昔の視聴者っぽいけど名前変えてそうな挨拶しますね。今はあれですね、このスチールライジングってのをやってます。ソウル系の。で、この工房にどうやって行けばいいかっていうと、こっちかな。どうやって行こうか。どうやって行こうかというか、どうやって行ったらいいかあんま分かんないっていうね。あーやべえ、こいつらか。ちょっと危ないな。やべやべやべやべやべ、アップの来た道の敵が、あ、
モンスト配信やってる頃見てたら。
あーなるほど。元の名前はどうですか。元の名前は何でしょう。覚えてるかどうかわからんけどこれどうやって突破しよう。 あー、またなんか引き寄せちゃった。やばいやばい、これはやばいやばい、逃げらんない。あいつらから先やるか。いや、これちょっと怖いな、危ないなマジで。よし突破。よしよしよしよしよし。さすがに今からモンストを再開してもね、多分あんま視聴者はついてこない。やっぶな。うわー、人生取れないと思うんだよね。よし、湧いてもいいと思うんだけどな。バレた。やばい。うん、どうやってあそこに行けばええんや。よし、入り口わかんないんだよな。そこ飛び越える必要があると。あれかな。画面すらん。よし、でオッケーオッケー。で下に行けってことね。あぶねえ。よし、これ突破できるところ。 扉いるか。早かったなちょっと。こっちまで来れないのかな。来れないっぽいな。うん、上には行けないか。特にアイテムはなしか。うわー、なんかいる。うわー、なんか突破してやばかった。いや、どうしても左からバレるな。
You monster. What do you want with me? Wasn't it enough for you to steal my dancer?
I'm merely obeying the king, mademoiselle. Don't be afraid. You and your beloved machine will soon be reunited. I give you my word. Voila, here we are. Do you see that window? That's where she's waiting for you. Sale petite peste. I suggest you don't try that again.
Atanias. What could
やっぱそうなると思った。
this workshop?
ムービーが終わったら戦闘開始ってね。特に開放できる扉はなし。先に進みましょう。
So that is the name that the Comte de Cagliostro uses to conduct his business discreetly.
戦勝の仮詰め。特殊技、面白そうだな。間違えた、これじゃない。スタミナ消費量半端ないな。なんかそうでもないな。
Is to be very old. I should show it to Abbe Grégoire.
ああ、ここか。分かった分かった。
Monsieur Necker.
Madame? Eh bien, do you come bearing...
Your wife. You may rest easy, monsieur. Your wife escaped the massacre. She returned home and left you this letter.
Mon Dieu. She's going to meet our daughter and son-in-law at our charity hospital.
She may already be there.
Madame, I did not dare to dream of such an outcome. My wife and daughter. Can you imagine? And I thought I had lost both of them. The three of us will be able to leave the kingdom and put these horrors behind us forever.
What about the bonds?
Oh, the bonds. Do with them as you see fit. As long as the king does not use them. As for me, I'm going to find my family at once. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I pray that your efforts will be successful. Adieu, madame. Adieu.
Minister Necker has given his bonds to me.
That's quite a nice little sum. Can you imagine? That's 1/5 of the kingdom's entire wealth.
Wealth that the king squanders for his personal benefit according to his whims.
Ma foi.
Monsieur Necker certainly has been very generous to his adoptive country.
Generous? I have my doubts. The loan was granted at a very high rate. So high, in fact, that it would have dug the deficit into an even deeper state of abyss.
Eh bien, monsieur. To what use shall we employ this boonful fortune?
If I could spend it, I'd do everything I could to return to the people their confiscated freedom. To begin, I would get them the bread they so sorely need. It is only after the scourge of famine has been vanquished that armed patriots might then be able to rise up against despotism.
And where will you find wheat, Robespierre? Will you steal it from under the noses of the automats who have sworn to destroy the human race? As for arming the people, this is another one of your delusions. How could your ragged pack of wretches win any sort of battle that'd be unable to lift a sword?
When you insult the people, you insult me, Monsieur de Lafayette.
I am not insulting anyone, Robespierre. But I happen to know what it takes to fight. Unlike you. Monsieur, I was but a lad of 15 when I took up arms. And everyone here knows my role in the liberation of America from British rule. If you allow me to dispose of these bonds, I will found an army that will annihilate the Clockwork King's diabolical machines. As soon as I have the opportunity to leave Paris, I will rally the officers and troops that are stationed in the provinces. Then, I will call for a mass uprising. I will have more than enough money to pay their wages and procure the weapons we need.
And you will have obedient troops at your beck and call, ready to repress anyone who challenges your power.
These troops will only serve the will of the people. I swear it.
Are you sure that the king has spared the rest of the kingdom, Monsieur le Marquis?
I am almost certain of it, mon père. Despite all of his resources, the king does not have enough manpower to occupy all the garrisons in the country.
Aegis, no member of this assembly can force your hand. The choice is yours. To whom will you entrust Monsieur Necker's bonds?
今決めるの今決めるのか。どうしよう。ちょっとこれはググるか。悩むな。 ラファイエットエンディングとロペスピエールエンディングがあるらしくて、まあこの2人のうちどちらかということになるとは思うんですけど、うん、まあトロフィー関係になるね。うん、ちょっとわかんねえわ。まあ、とりあえず先に食料ってのがロペスピエールで、軍隊がラファイエットなんで、まあ上の方の選択肢のロベスピエール先に渡しましょうか。
Maximilien de Robespierre, I have chosen to entrust this fortune to you.
Very well, madame. I promise that I will use it for one purpose only. Freedom for the people and by the people. When a monarch violates the people's most fundamental rights, insurrection is their most sacred and indispensable duty. But we must be wary of warmongers, who claim to defend our happiness.
Bon sang. Am I the only one who is weary of hearing these tiresome monologues?
For they wish only to silence us, and take their own turn at playing tyrant.
Congratulations, Aegis. You've chosen a speechifier as Commander-in-Chief. I am sure the king will be delighted to hear this. He need not fear for his throne now.
愛は金より重いというトロフィーで、ググったところによると、このトロフィーはこの国債を渡す前にネッケルの妻を救うと、まあゲットできるらしいっていうことですね。
Monsieur Raymond.
Go on, Aegis.
I went to the Hotel de Massiac as agreed. What I discovered goes beyond your darkest conjectures. The club's members have no intention of merely depriving their slaves of rest. Rather, with the king's support, they plan to replace them with automat harvesters. The Count of Cagliostro is behind the plan.
Ma foi. But such a plan would certainly only improve the lot of these unfortunate people.
You are mistaken, mon père. If the planters get their way, they will have a greater need of slaves than ever. Only this time, they intend to slaughter them to power their machines.
Quelle abomination!
Par tous les saints.
4 days ago, the Paris Guard captured 100 black people. They were to be sacrificed as part of an experiment to test the effectiveness of the automat harvesters. Luckily, I was able to prevent the massacre.
Where are they now?
In a place they call the Dépôt des Noirs. I don't know where it is, but I managed to get the key. It bears the inscription, Tour du Diable.
The Devil's Tower is a prison in Vincennes, within the chateau walls.
That's 3 leagues from here. We'll only be able to free the prisoners once we're able to move freely ourselves.
At least they were spared the fate that the king and his accomplices had planned for them.
And what will you do with the 2 servants you employ, Monsieur Raymond?
I will continue to treat them well, as I always have.
However, under the laws you insist on following, they will become slaves again the moment they leave the kingdom for Saint-Domingue.
Certainly not, Monsieur de Robespierre. What kind of a man would I be if what I have heard had not opened my eyes? The planters of Massiac have been proven to be nothing but avaricious murderers. I thought I was dealing with opposition, but now I discover them to be vile enemies, from whom it would be vain to expect any compromise. From this day on, I will fight against their interests with all my strength, and will not lay down my arms until the last slave in the Empire has been freed.
Rest assured, then, that the people will fight by your side, Monsieur Raymond.
That's the spirit, my friends. Vive l'égalité.
奴隷制度廃止というトロフィーゲットしました。まあサイドクエストのトロフィーって感じでしょうね。
Can I help you, Aegis?
What is the significance of these objects steeped in memories?
Nemes. I have reread every work that I have on them. Pages that have remained unintelligible to this day. These echoes go back to the beginning of time, to that fateful day in ancient Greece when some dark magician took it into his head to bind a soul to an inanimate object. You see, Aegis, there is nothing more diabolical, nothing more unnatural than this sorcery. The soul is the very essence of the divine. It refuses to submit to such an abomination and resists, eventually breaking. The earliest necromancers whose works have survived through the centuries all describe the same phenomenon. When a soul is fragmented, 3 shards of memory are torn from its consciousness and take shelter in 3 objects that the victim held dear. It's as if these memories wish to remain bound to the mortal who had held them until then.
I found this notebook written in Latin.
Indeed. Medieval Latin, to be precise. Oh, hold on. Bon sang. Aegis, what a find. This handwriting, I would recognize it anywhere. It's in Nicholas Flamel's own hand. Give me some time to study this, and I'll tell you what I'm able to glean from it.
Have you finished reading the notebook, mon père?
Yes, Aegis, and what I learned from it puzzles me. In this diary, Flamel tells of 3 journeys. 3 journeys into what he calls the in-between. A strange world filled with wandering souls. Tormented spirits that are unable to ascend to heaven.
This world. It's where Cagliostro's victims were trapped until I freed them.
En effet, I believe you're right. But that's not all. Flamel planned to return there a 4th time. He wrote this in the final paragraph, in his handwriting, dated 21st of March 1418. That was the day before he died, Aegis. What if his body died while his soul was traveling through limbo? What if he were trapped, a prisoner in this purgatory? Aegis, because of your unique nature, we have an incredible opportunity.
What do you mean, mon père?
If the soul that animates you has been bound to the automaton that serves as its vessel, then it can be separated from it too. And if this were the case, the soul would travel to purgatory, where Cagliostro entraps the souls of his victims.
Hold on. Are you trying to convince me to go and find Nicholas Flamel?
I'm offering you a chance to speak to the man who discovered the Philosopher's Stone. Surely you won't pass it up.
Assuming I agree to venture into purgatory, do I even have a chance of finding him there?
Certainly. According to this journal, the soul flies to the zenith of the place where it left the body of the deceased. Or that of the pilgrim, in this case. If Flamel's soul is trapped in purgatory, as we've guessed, you'll need to go to the house where he drew his dying breath.
Is it still standing?
Of course. It's on Rue de Montmorency, in the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. You can get there via the cemetery of the Église Saint-Jacques.
And how do you plan to free my spirit from this automat?
We would simply need to break the bond between them. To do this, we would need to stop your machinery. For a short time, of course. We don't want to lose you, ma chère. As for the rest, it will be a question of mechanics, chemistry, or electric currents, or something or other. Therein lies the problem. This is far beyond my comprehension. But it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps Monsieur Bailly and Monsieur Lavoisier could shed some light on the matter.
Goodbye, mon père. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
The clues I found at the warehouse suggest that the gunpowder was moved to the Bastille.
Diable! You must find a way to get there and put an end to this threat.
Do you think there is any way to interrupt my internal clockwork?
To what end?
I would like to briefly sever the bond between my spirit and this automat.
It is a very strange request, madame. For what purpose do you seek to free your soul from its shell?
According to the abbot, my spirit would then be able to visit purgatory.
Oh, that dreadful place. Why on earth would you want to go there?
I hope to find answers to some very important questions.
You must understand, madame, that your very nature is a mystery to us. We are ignorant as to the principle that imbues you with life, nor do we know how your machinery works. That is why it is impossible for us to make even the slightest alteration. It would mean taking an unacceptable risk. Of course, if we had documents that could shed light on the matter...
Antoine, the blueprints.
What blueprints, mon ami?
Ludia's. Eugène gave them to me when he was working on the modifications ordered by the king. He wanted my opinion on the potential for reducing the size of certain key parts. The documents are obsolete now, but they could tell us quite a bit about the mechanical principles that are shared by Ludia and Aegis.
Bon sang, you're right. Where are the blueprints now?
Alas, the situation is not in our favor. I kept them in the safe at the observatory, but earlier, when I went there to collect my most important documents, before setting off for the convent, I found looters making off with its contents.
Blasted scavengers. Their kind are always quick to make the most of chaos.
I chased them to the quays, but was unable to apprehend them. When they disappeared into an underground passageway under the Louvre, I decided it was best not to follow them.
You acted wisely, mon ami. The automats are everywhere, and the marauders don't stand much of a chance.
I'll try to track them down. The clues I found at the warehouse.
Diable.
Goodbye,
Did you find the blueprints that were stolen from me?
No, monsieur.
Don't forget that those documents are our only chance. The looters disappeared into the tunnels. I find it hard to believe.
Regarding loot...
Were you able to get them?
No, monsieur.
Don't forget that those documents... The looters disappeared. I find it hard to believe that...
一旦会話すべきことは全部終わったのかな。
So how is Monsieur Marat?
I haven't met him yet.
He is your only chance to reach the Bastille. He's holed up in the quarries of Montmartre, hiding from the mark.
As for the land...
Did Monsieur de Laclos tell you this?
No.
That's a pity. Let's see. I know he's close to Monsieur Marat, the patriot. He's currently in hiding in the quarries, but please do not breathe a word of this to the Marquis de Lafayette. Those two are at Dag. It would certainly end in a
Goodbye.
ルディアの設計図を入手する。これですね。ただそのサイドクエストやればまあ進むでしょうと。ちょっとまたここで離席します。 さあやっていきましょう。設計図。なんで後伝いすんだ、初めてだな。出た。通れなかったところですね。こっちも壊せるから、こっちも、あ、こっちは諦めるんじゃない、もしかして。無理か。敵アイテムだけでしたね。
Steel yourself, Claude. Just be thankful you got out alive. Et puis quoi? Don't you think it was worth it? This tunnel is a gold mine. With what we've managed to gather, we'll be set for a long time.
Monsieur.
Huh? Who goes there?
Oh, so, let's get the hell out of here! Run, Claude! Run if you can!
Oh, my lure! I told you we'd get caught!
逃げられたの。ん？これは道の領域だ。ただアイテムがあることですね。 で破壊する2つの部屋の左側につながったと。
The looters from the observatory. Poor souls. They didn't stand a chance. Ludius blueprints. Fortunately, they are in perfect condition. Monsieur Bailly will be delighted.
通れるわけじゃないんだ。戻れないですね。じゃあまあ普通に戻りますか。
Monsieur Bailly. Here are the blueprints you asked for.
Good heavens. You found them.
Your thieves were not able to profit much from their theft. They met with an unfortunate end.
Oh, the poor souls. Their crimes did not deserve such a permanent ending.
Certainly, certainly. Let us look at these documents now, if you will.
No, Antoine, the F-wheel is not part of the cog that transfers the driving force to the escapement.
Diable, you're right. It's driven by the B-wheel, and its axis is on the shaft that's visible at this point.
Precisely. In fact, the shaft sits between the conical bearing and the small groove here. See?
True. It's decided then. All we would have to do is separate these two plates to disable the entire thing.
And to put them back in place at the agreed time to start the machine again.
You will not be able to assist me. I have to do it alone. Half a league away.
You must be joking.
By no means. You'll have to find another solution.
Unfortunately, madame, you're asking us to do the impossible.
Oh, ça, par exemple.
Once your spirit is untethered from this automat, it will be impossible for you to start the machine up again.
Hold on, my dear Antoine. Is this device in Figure 4? Is it still in place?
Yes, it is. What of it?
Bon sang. It's a timer. It's primitive, true, but fully functional.
The dial has marks from 1 to 15. Probably minutes.
It was to allow Eugène to plan the duration of Ludia's dances in advance.
Oh, I see. And by reversing the position of this peg in the center, we could instead turn it into a period of inactivity.
Nous y sommes, mon ami. Fantastic.
Will Aegis be able to operate this device herself?
We'll make it easier for her. All you have to do is put a bolt there that she can remove when the time is right. Yes, a small iron rod will suffice. We won't have any trouble finding something that will do. When the timer dial reaches 0, the automat will come back to life. However, given the dial's fragility, we will probably get only one chance to try this.
Are you sure that the bond between my soul and this machine will be re-established?
Ma foi, I admit that we can't be sure of this. What do you say, mon père?
Don't be afraid, Aegis. Unless I've been wrong from the beginning, your soul will seek refuge in the only body it has available to it in this world.
Well then, shall we start the preparations?
Let's begin. My fate is in your hands, monsieur.
Voila. Everything is in place. When it's time, just pull on this metal loop to start the timer.
Remember, you will have 15 minutes and no more before your spirit returns to your body. We wish you good luck, madame.
Remember, to get to Rue de Montmorency, you're best going through the cemetery behind the Église Saint-Jacques in the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. Here is the key to the gate. Our prayers are with you, my child.
めっちゃなんかこのサイドクエストすごい裏ボス感があるんですけどできるかね。狭間の世界に侵入する。どうやってそこまで行くんだっけ。 やばっ。逃げよう。あんな感じになるんだな。うわ、結構届くな。一回だけか、珍しいな。あ、アップグレードできるし、一回帰ろうかな。一回アップグレードしましょう。合力にしよっか。あ、突破できるんだね、ちゃんと。 当たんねえな。これあったら繋げただけかな。あー、見覚えがある。見覚えありますね。位置関係は覚えてないけど。そこ雑魚敵が出てきてもおかしくないんだが。モンモレンシード。開けるかこれ。
Monsieur.
Zoons! Praise be to the Holy Mother of our Lord, at last thou speakest! Gentle dame, you have erred here for so long, not a word uttered. In singular contemplation of such terrible slaughter.
A long time, you say? That's not possible, sir. I've just now appeared to you.
Nay, thou must trust me. And thou wast hardly alone in this limbo. There were many travelers, stiff and silent, all in agony, all bound to the anchor stone.
What travelers do you speak of?
The first to arrive was a sobbing child, searching for his mother. After him, many a damned soul carrying their own heads in hand. Then, those whose thoughts passed through me. A minister of God tormented by doubt.
Hold on. A minister of God? Monsignor de la Fare?
A scholar with soul star-filled, and a learned master of alchemy.
Monsieur Bailly and Monsieur Lavoisier.
A usurer who shed so many tears for his lady.
Monsieur Necker, mourning his wife.
All bound to the anchor stone. Wretched souls, their ascension to the heavens repelled.
The anchor stone, monsieur?
Lapis philosophorum.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Aye! Vile knave who took it for his own lately. No count is he but that of trespass and perfidy.
Cagliostro.
Well met. Grope for this varlet and I shall be avenged. The Anchor Stone keeps the travellers in this limbo and makes them masters of the Iron Titans. From the defunct springs the fire that burns inside these demons. Lanterns of the dead. Witchcraft of the blackest sort.
The terrible slaughter. You say I was just observing the massacres?
Aye. Vile, innumerable crimes. The devil's own accursed titans and their restless horde. They drinketh from the lake where the souls of the dead sleep. Men and women offered in sacrifice to feed the pyre. Then the terrible maw was opened, and in flowed legion of the dead. Ne'er hast I seen such and so many here during all my stay. Oh! The stone is verily mine dark confine. Lonely, so lonely, that mine vessel is no more, and my soul still cloistered in this place. Alack, I do despair of ever ascending to heaven. Gentle dame, I prithee do shatter mine stone.
You want me to break the stone that contains your soul? Is that what you're asking me to do?
Aye, my God, I beg thee.
Do you know where this stone is? You've been buried for more than 3 centuries, monsieur.
The precious jewel, sublime treasure, was inscribed in my legacy, my testament. On my tomb engraved, gentle dame, on the tomb!
Encounter. I must tell Abbe Grégoire about it immediately.
これで終わりかな。うん。エクサンブール戻ればいいらしいですね。帰り道はこっちでいいのかな。帰り道わかんないっていうね。あ、だが覚えてる、こいつらが戦ったことを。 やばい、いろいろ集まりすぎた。
Can I help you, Aegis?
The plan worked as we had hoped. My spirit left my body, and I traveled to the in-between.
This is extraordinary. It confirms all my theories.
You were right about the rest, too. Nicholas Flamel's soul had never left the in-between.
Mon Dieu, 4 centuries. What a fearsome fate. Were you able to speak with this unfortunate soul?
Yes, mon père. He claimed that I had been in purgatory for a long time, but had never spoken until then.
Please, go on.
He said he had met other visitors. Based on his descriptions, he was speaking of Monseigneur de la Fare, Minister Necker, Monsieur Bailly and Monsieur Lavoisier. They all seemed unaware of his presence. All bound to the anchor stone. Those were his words.
All those whom Cagliostro turned into his homicidal playthings. Yes, it is just as I thought. The subject has the impression of being the automat it is bound to, but his soul remains in the in-between world.
Mon père, Monsieur Flamel begged me to free him from purgatory. He has suffered for too long.
How can we help him?
If he is to be believed, we would simply have to break his stone.
Of course, the Philosopher's Stone. The anchor stone that keeps him in the in-between. But where could it be after all this time?
Look at this, mon père. These are Philosopher's Stones made by Cagliostro's hand. Do they look familiar?
Heavens, they do. Aegis. The ancient chalice of Saint-Jacques is adorned with a similar stone. It was entrusted to me by the parish priests, along with some other relics. I stored it in a reliquary chest in this very room. Here's the key. Go. Let us not waste a second more.
Goodbye, mon père. Here it is.
4 centuries, Aegis. 4 centuries. No mind can begin to comprehend what this poor man has suffered.
Is this the fate that awaits us? An eternity of silence and solitude?
Purgatory is just a stop on the journey, Monseigneur.
Oh, I would give anything to believe it again.
Monsieur Flamel, the time has come to set you free.
Seigneur, Dieu nous garde.
Oh, bless maid who has broken my chains! Heavenly light! Oh, heavenly light! I shall become one with it!
Et cum hae dixis et videntibus illis elevatus est.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up.
Hallelujah! Purgatory is not the end. Do you know what that means, Abbot?
Before I say anything, I would like to take the time to consider the phenomenon we have just witnessed with a clear head.
You are mistaken. What we have just seen and heard makes us new apostles. From this day on, I will live only to share the good news of this divine manifestation.
That is all well and good, Monseigneur. Alas, I will not be able to join your apostolate, for there is no mission more vital than the one we are undertaking. At the moment when the tyrant aims to annihilate his subjects, I have a duty to put deeds before prayer.
古の錬金術師というトロフィーをゲット。で、サイドクエスト全部終わった感じかな。おそらくトロフィーゲットってことはそういうことなんでしょう。で、このサイドクエストを人々に、修道院で人々に尋ねるっていうのが残ってるのがちょっとよくわかんないんだよね。攻略歴もまともにないみたいだしね。トロフィーリストを見てみるか。いや、ちょっとめんどくさいな。
Monsieur le Marquis.
I'm listening.
Goodbye, Monsieur le...
うん、こいつは何もない。
Monsieur de Mirabeau. I found a broken cane. It says Francis. Do you know who it belongs?
Well, yes. And I'm willing to bet you're looking for a certain François Antoine.
That's right.
Well, you'd need to look a little further east, because this cane, Franz Anton Mesmer.
Mesmer, the prince of charlatans. Good heavens, it's been a long time since I've heard his name.
5 years to be exact since your learned commission denounced his theories.
It wasn't long after that when he disappeared.
Can you tell me more about Mesmer?
He was a mystical healer who was once popular with the upper class. I myself attended several of his sessions.
You mentioned a commission.
The king did not look kindly on the healer's popularity within the court. This led him to appoint a commission from the Royal Academy of Sciences.
An institution to which Monsieur Bailly and I have the honor to belong. We were asked to investigate his alleged powers.
The experiments that we performed allowed us to determine that Monsieur Mesmer's activities were pure charlatanism, a conclusion that destroyed his successful career the moment it was published.
But there was something, Sylvain, a tiny flow of energy that my devices were able to measure.
My dear colleague, must I remind you again that we were never able to reproduce your observations? It was obviously a momentary failure of your equipment.
Perhaps. I'd like to be sure of it.
When and how did Monsieur Mesmer disappear?
The denunciation of his techniques was the start of a long descent into hell for Monsieur Mesmer. He was abandoned by his clients and resumed his research in virtual secrecy. I think he was hoping to perfect his so-called science and restore his reputation with the Academy.
A hope that led him to associate himself with that dastardly Cagliostro. God only knows what experiments they may have carried out. In any case, their collaboration did not last long. Monsieur Mesmer left the kingdom overnight to return to his mother country.
Why did he leave so quickly?
That is a mystery. But those who saw him that morning say it was as if he had the devil at his heels.
This is true. He left in such a hurry that he abandoned everything he owned. Furniture, belongings, and scientific equipment. And it seems that Cagliostro has inherited this treasure.
Is that so? Well, if what you say is true, that broken cane must have passed into the Count's hands.
Yes, it's likely.
This adventurer from who knows where is quite the mysterious character. And he has been very busy recently. I've been able to observe him from my apartments, making frequent visits to Rue Saint-Honoré, on the Tuileries side. I wonder what he was doing there.
What were Monsieur Mesmer's theories?
He is a proponent of a theory called animal magnetism. He claimed to be able to channel a purported universal healing fluid by passing his hands over patients and using magnets.
He also cobbled together a whole array of mad devices, each stranger than the last. Unfortunately, despite all his attempts, I don't know that he ever cured anyone.
What happened during Monsieur Mesmer's treatment sessions?
Oh, they were quite a spectacle to behold. Imagine well-born ladies afflicted with perfectly imaginary illnesses. A dimly lit room where incense has been burned to intoxicate the soul and cloud your vision. Amiable servants, half-dressed, gliding from countess to duchess to the sound of a sensual melody. And the great Mesmer, a doctor with wandering hands, presiding over the wonderful scene. Oh, you should have seen them. Those grand ladies moaning, crying, and falling into a swoon, clinging to that strange tub. Du théâtre, ma chère. Pure theater.
お、ようやく修道院で人々に聞くっていうのが消えましたね。今のを回収してなかったからずっとああいうね表示になっていたんですね。 ちじゃないのかな。まあ行ってみるか、今の場所。見てよっか、めんどくさいな。この中であることは間違いないんだけど、どうやって入るんだってか。これか。上？
You're so beautiful. You'll stay with me always, n'est-ce pas? Without you, mon ami, I'd be all alone. This box is covered in astronomical symbols. It's no use. I can't get it open. I should show this to Monsieur Bay.
どっから降りるんだこれどっから降りるんだっけこれ。あ、これか。見えた見えた。やっぱり強いね。で血じゃない。こっちだ。
Cagliostro's workshop. I should go back. Monsieur B. I found this box with astronomical symbols on it. I believe it belongs to Vaucanson's daughter.
Athenais' secret box. I built it with my own hands. It was my gift to her on her 15th birthday.
I wasn't able to open it.
Naturellement. Athenais and I are the only ones who know how. Allow me. You must arrange the planets the way they were aligned on the day of Athenais' birth. Voila, like this.
What's this locket?
Athenais is always wearing this. It contains a portrait of her late mother. She said it was her most cherished possession in all the world. To think, the poor child never knew her own mother.
Lydia! You monster! What did you do to her?
Good God. Lydia, what happened? You froze the moment you touched the locket. I thought I'd lost you.
I saw her. Athénaïs de Vaucanson. The Comte de Cagliostro has her.
Mon Dieu. It is just as I feared.
He bound her spirit to an automat.
Please, say no more. Athénaïs. It is her spirit that animates you. Is it not?
Yes. I believe so.
Seigneur, quelle abomination. It is vital that you go and find Athénaïs as soon as possible.
She is right in front of you. I am Athénaïs.
Alas, I fear that is not entirely accurate. You know nothing of Athénaïs, Lydia. Nothing of her past, her joys, her suffering. Nothing of her love for her father. You are but the vessel that harbors the poor child's soul.
Where can I find Athénaïs's body?
God only knows. Although I assume that the Comte de Cagliostro is taking pains to keep her alive. This is certainly the only way to keep her spirit alive in you. The only way to free her is to find her body.
Why was Eugène de Vaucanson imprisoned in the Bastille?
Once he discovered the king's true intentions, he refused to continue cooperating with him. He refused to use his talents to create this abominable army. But the king didn't take kindly to his resignation. Eugène did manage to get a letter to me just before he was arrested. Here, take it.
ルディアというトロフィーユニット。サイドクエストは全部終わったのかなって雰囲気ですね。はい。じゃあ、メインクエストに戻っていくんですが、ちょっと休憩したいので一旦枠は閉じましょうかね。はい、ご視聴ありがとうございました。